Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday and welcome to your favorite Sunday sports stream. It is Point of View. My name is Bobby Munson, if you didn't know that already. And joining me, as always, right beside me, right to my immediate side, it's Mark. Mark, how you doing this morning?
Well, I'm not a big fan of me in the middle. I don't know how we've got here to a point of Bobby should be in the middle.
Okay, there we go. It was because
Also,
Andre pulled in as the credits were rolling. You know how it is.
It should be this way as well because it feels right. As much as I love you, Andre, but this is Bobby's show, so this has to be Bobby in the middle. Good. I've had a good week. We've got a lot of stuff to discuss. I've got more videos coming out for you today as well. Lots of different sports that have happened this week. A massive in the NBA happened with the Pacers versus the Knicks. That's been going on. We also have had the other OKC are going on with the NBA. We've got the NHL as well, where we're going to be talking about the Stanley Cup. Formula One was just finished with the Monaco Grand Prix, so me and Andre will be talking about that. And the Premier League is on its final day today, and you've got Steven Gerrard, Jurgen Klopp, all at Anfield today, watching them lift the trophy with Trent Alexander-Arnold nowhere to be seen, which I don't want to go on a rant about, but I feel like at some point I most probably will. But yes, Andre.
I believe there's going to be a whole lot of ranting here today. There's a lot to discuss, especially in the world of footy on the final day of the English Premier League. We're going to get to all of that very shortly. Good morning, Peggy, who's joining us in the chat. Thank you, as always, for support and Point of View. And joining to the other side, now that we've got the seating arrangements all rolled out properly, he's that beautiful man on the other side of me. He is Andre C. How you doing today?
I'm good. Actually, this makes sense because I'm in Alberta, you're in Saskatchewan, then Mark is on the other side in England. This makes sense. This sort of makes sense. Okay. See?
Geographically, we got this case.
Yeah, that's exactly why we have this layout. It's because of geography.
Andre, explain yourself, brother.
I have no idea what's going on. Honestly, I have no idea what's going on.
To be fair, after the conversation I had with him during the Monaco Grand Prix, for him not knowing what's going on is the theme of the day so far.
I woke up halfway through the race. I'm sorry. But
he did. And then we had a debate about a driver, which then I could see his side, but then he was still being a dumbass over it. And then he knew he was being a dumbass because then he changed the subject really quickly during that conversation as well, which made me laugh.
I like Lance Stroll. He's a Canadian.
You're the only one.
Canadian boy. He's a good Canadian boy. He's a good Canadian boy.
He's not.
All right, well, welcome to the latest edition of Three Dumbasses Talk Sports, aka Point of View.
Yes, very much so. But I know that there is a topic of discussion that Bobby wants to get into. But I want Bobby's rant. But I have personalized video. So the Europa League final happened this week. It was between Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United.
No, it didn't.
It did because
it was a figment of your imagination. Never happened.
So, as you can tell, certain things happened, but I have a 1 minute 35 video of Manchester United fans about the Europa League final. Okay? This made me so happy making this video, by the way. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen.
FA Cup final. I've seen the club have still got that feeling, supporters going there. I think the United supporters will go there expecting to win because they're Man United, and I don't think Spurs supporters will.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
And I think I'll correct myself. I don't usually win things. I always win things in my second year.
Goal. You're a bunch of absolute cretins. That fucking goalkeeper. You may as well have the Statue of Liberty in goal. I mean, look at him. He's like the Statue of Liberty. He is stood there like that. Bloody concrete. I'd rather have a bloody dildo in goal. At least it moves. What's he doing?
bloody dildo in
See,
goal.
the crazy part is I was watching Mark Goodrich's The United Stand watch along. I had it playing in my headphones while the game was on, so I heard all of that racket going on. Basser, good morning. Says, morning, boys. Saw Bobby out for a walk last night and his lady. And both my son and I agree that you're looking fit and fine, my man. Now that not that you didn't before, but Benny goes, Bobby looks smaller. Well, thank you very much, Benny, for the compliment. We were out for a walk, as you can see, getting a little bit toasty out there, folks. It's very, very warm. I'm trying to get rid of the old farmer stand, but even so, you start to look a little white when you get the clothing protecting certain areas. It's just how it goes around here.
Welcome to the Caucasian show is basically what this is. But no, the messages that I put at the end that was
the clean ones. I think I said
the cleanest ones that happened during the match. There were points, and I went through them right. When I was making that video, I screenshotted quite a few of them, and I was like, which ones can I put on there that Bobby doesn't get pissed off with, and which Bobby is fine with? And then there was those two, and I went, that's fine. It was the point of I heard. So after the game, I got tagged by someone saying, you've got to watch this. And it was the point of when Goldbridge goes, you would rather have a dildo in goal because it moves. When I heard that, I went, that is the best line I've heard of a goalkeeper conceding a goal from it. But no, but I wanted to play that.
How the fuck did he not get it? On top of the fact that the defense went to shit, that was the worst goal I think a final has ever been won by ever in the history of finals. Like, that was such shit. Like, Onana should have had that in his sleep. But the problem is, Onana's been asleep his whole fucking career at Manchester United. He's got holes in his fucking gloves, and all he does is slap the ball in the back of our own fucking net. Like, the guy is a prick, and he needs to go. Along with everybody. Fire sale. Again, they put them all up for sale. Sell them all. I don't care. I'm not going to shed a goddamn tear over one player at Manchester United leaving the fucking club, you lazy bunch of fucking idiots. Like, seriously.
If you guys didn't know already, Manchester United are backing Rúben Amorim next season.
Good. That's the only good decision they made.
But Andre Onana, it has come out that Andre Onana, the goalkeeper, and Alejandro Garnacho, who made some questionable comments after the final that I read, and he basically
little bastard.
Yes, he basically come out and said, why did you only come on the 70th minute? And he went, that's not my decision. That was up to the manager. The manager has to live by his decision. And it was very much a common theme on commentary. Let's talk about the game before we get any further. And because Manchester United are playing now, it's the final day of the Premier League season. It's all kicking off. You've got 4 teams that can go into the Champions League. It's all fighting out for it. But Manchester United, I think last night proved that they are so far behind. There was a comment, right, by a Liverpool fan that happened 2 years ago. This happened under Mourinho when he turned around and said, you are going through what we went through, and you guys don't even realize you're about to go through what we went through. And the Man United fan, who I can't stand, by the way, absolutely fucking useless, he turned around and said, we will never get as bad as that. Now, if I remember correctly, since the last time Liverpool, before Jurgen Klopp took over, they never finished, what was it, just outside the bottom 3 during that time. They've been mid-table, just below mid-table, or they've been in the Champions League area before they won it. But I think Manchester United, and I think there'd probably be an episode dedicated to going through the summer transfer window and stuff like that. We've also need to, very soon as well, go through our Premier League predictions scores that me and Bobby did.
I am so fucked. I think
I could be in trouble with this one as well.
I put United in like 5th or 6th place or something like that, man. I'm in a lot of trouble.
If I remember correctly, I think I put United 10th or 11th.
You did, so you at least have some saving grace, and they still blew it more than that.
Yeah, I think I did some voodoo shit with that one. But it's one of those things where I think we're gonna have to have a dedicated channel, a time of going through United and sort of going deeper delve into it, because it's dark.
I just want to cut in and say, like, as a United supporter, I'm always going to support the club. But to any of you supporters of Manchester United out there that think for a second that we will not fall from grace the way that other teams have done before, why don't you go ask every Pompey fan on the planet what that feels like? Why don't you go ask every Leeds United fan on the planet what it feels like? Every single fan out there, Reading included, have been to the top flight. They have been at the top. They have been a top club before, and they blew it. They allowed it to slip. They fell from grace. And this isn't me trying to shit on Reading or anything or any of those other clubs right now, but because of poor management, poor money-making decisions and things, fell them from grace. And Manchester United are not exempt from this. We barely made it past the relegation zone this year. If we do not change the mentality by next season, goodbye top flight football.
So if people think that Bobby's shit on me, no, he's not. He's absolutely right. We were just outside of the Champions League football, our very first season inside of the Premier League. And then we decided still not to invest in the squad anymore, which then we got relegated in our second season. When we got promoted again to the Premier League and we had another chance in there, we then sold our club to a Russian owner who said that he had millions and billions of pounds, and then ran away and then completely disappeared. And then we were up shit creek and couldn't do anything. Manchester United are at a point now where they have to be they have to be thinking 20 steps ahead than they are doing right now. At the moment, it's all been about, we need to get back to the Champions League now. No. What you need to do is get rid of the highest paid wages that you've got. Onana is thinking about his future already because he's getting a 25% wage cut because they didn't get into the Champions League. There are players in there like Casemiro will most probably want to leave. You've got 90% of that club. Manchester United have to dip in their toe and they have to do what a Brighton does. They have to do exactly what. And I saw someone say this the other day. They said, why are none of the top 6 clubs doing what a Brighton does or a Brentford does? Which is you get them extremely young in a foreign country, i.e. Brazil. It's simple way of doing things over in Brazil. If you don't know anything about Brazil, Brazil's very easy. They have a lot of wonder players that go through. But what they also are, and it's very good for the European market, is every player has to have a non-domestic release clause. Has to have it. It don't matter who you are, you have to have it. Same with Spain, you have to have a release clause. So it's cheaper to go abroad to grab these Brazilian wonders. Look at Chelsea, they've got thousands of them, and bring them over to it. Manchester United are in. I wonder, and I mean this without being disrespectful to Bobby, is if they do not clear out half of the squad and they don't trim this wage budget down, I think financial fair play is going to be a huge issue for Manchester United. And I think the money, and I think that Jim Radcliffe can easily go bye-bye. And then all of Manchester United thinks worst nightmares, there will be a Saudi coming in and gut the place and make it into a Saudi-run club, which is one thing Manchester United former players have shit on Newcastle for doing. Now, I'm not being funny. Newcastle are so much ahead of Manchester United right now. It's unbelievable. But anyway, this is your club anyway. I do apologize for going on, but
no, it's true. They invest in the right players. Also, I just want to stop to say good morning to STG and to Papa Smokes joining us in the chat right now as well, too. To add to this, Mark, it's, like you talk about this fire sale that's going on, and I'd say I won't shed a tear over a single player going. And I'm not kidding. It's like, it's all for profit. I mean, I would be a little bit more heartbroken over some of the youth players because they haven't had a chance to show that they are the problem. They haven't had a chance. But as far as like your Garnachos, goodbye. I'm sorry. It's like, you know what? He complains about, I didn't come on till the 70th minute, blah, 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 blah. You're shit anyway. It doesn't matter. Had you played from the start, you still would have taken every chance to try to go around a couple of fucking defenders and take a shot. because you're a selfish little prick like everybody else on the team right now. Take the glory for yourself. You're trying to play for yourself, not play for the team. You guys can't pick out a pass to save your goddamn life. Maybe they should go and spend an entire fucking month training on passing a fucking ball this summer, because then maybe they might get it right. Or, oh, sorry, they do know how to pass a ball when they're passing it back to the fucking keeper that doesn't know how to stop anything on our team. Like, this is the problem. We have 4 goalkeepers. We have Onana, shit. Bayender, Young, and shit. Sorry, I can't even remember one of the other ones, but then Heaton, who's there, who, you know, the only thing I'll give credit to Heaton for is that he's been there forever as a 4th choice fucking keeper, and he still comes out to work with a smile on his goddamn face. And he'd probably still do better than any of our first choice keepers that we got on the team right now. It's garbage. Like, it's absolute trash right now. I can't make a case for very more play. Dorgu, I would keep because he's working his ass off and he hasn't had a chance to really shine yet with a team that supports him. I think given that Amorim's going to stick around and Amorim's going to bring in some of his own people, Dorgu deserves that chance. I think the youngsters, I like seeing Aiden Heaven out there. I like Lenny Yoro a lot. I think that the defense should be built around those 2 youngsters right there. I think that we need to maybe get a stronger central defender that we can have out there leading the way possibly with them. McGuire's great as a backup there, but he is getting older. Those legs are going to start to go on him. Cashmiro can go. I mean, he's fine at times, but he's not consistent enough. And if we can get him off the payroll, we need to get him off the payroll. Bruno had a great season and a lot more heart for us after Kino called him out in the press and said he wasn't a leader. Ever since then, all of a sudden there's been a fire lit under Bruno's ass, which has been great to see. Unfortunately, when you got Saudi money being thrown at Manchester United for the purchase of Bruno, I say, sorry, Bruno, you got to go, because that's pure profit for us to be able to fund the next crop of players that we need in the team. We desperately need somebody in right wing back, desperately. And of course, we miss out on the best possibility, in my mind, Jeremy Frimpong, who would have been an absolute cut deal, in my opinion. Instead, he's going over to Liverpool instead, which just pisses me off even more, kind of thing. I don't know where to start. Where do you start with strikers? We might get Cunha. It sounds like we're going to get Cunha. Well, that's 62.5 million pounds. That's expensive. Now, is he proven in the Premier League? Yes. But does he have support with Man United yet? We don't fucking know, because we don't know who's going to be there and we don't know what they're capable of doing. Will Cunha shine as much as he did at Wolves? I don't know, because I don't know who's backing his ass up right now.
Yes. Matthias Cunha, if you could do it for Wolves, you could do it for Man United.
I believe so, and I want to believe so. But again, like, so I feel like you could put out the best. You could have put Lionel Messi in his prime out with this Manchester United squad, and he wouldn't have been able to hit the back of the net because there's no fucking support.
I think that Messi could have. Prime Messi could have picked up a kid's school and still won the Premier League on his own.
Can you tell I'm furious?
Yeah, I can tell you. Yeah, but no, and I think you're right, and you are right in what you're saying as well. And I think Matthias Cunha is an excellent signing. There's also talk that Liam Delap from Ipswich, £30 million striker, which I think could be a good deal. But I think they need to get rid of Rasmus Højlund. I think they need to get rid of Xerxes, and they need to get an experienced striker who can work with Liam Delap instead of throwing him in the deep end. I think that's what you need to do. Mason Mount, I think, should stay. I think Lenny Euro has got the ability to really push forward and do something well. I think if you put Maguire there and De Ligt as well, I think you nearly got the back 3 set with De Ligt, Maguire and Lenny Euro. I think you need a couple of it. You need a right wing back straight away. You need a midfielder 2, I would say, straight away. You need another one that can work behind the. I think you need one more behind the striker, but I don't think you really need it because Matthias Cunha is going to be playing there, and I think him with Amad Diallo behind the striker, it could work out. But no. But before we go any further, there is another topic with Manchester United that ties into this. England have got friendlies, friendlies coming up in June, and we've announced the squad. Here is the squad under Thomas Tuchel. You've got Henderson, Pickford, Trafford, and then defence. You've got Trent, you've got Dan Burn, Chalobah, Colwell, James, Konsa, Lewis Scully, and Walker. Midfield, you've got Bellingham, Gallagher, Gibbs-White, Henderson, Jones, Palmer, Rice, Rogers, and then with the strikers or the front forwards, you've got Eze, Gordon, Kane, Mudryk, Saka, Tony, Watkins. Now, Manchester United have been a stable. This is the sort of tie-in to the conversation we're having about Manchester. There's not one single Manchester United player that has been picked for England. Now, also, this is a very good England squad. I will say this. There is a couple of players I wouldn't pick, like Tony. Wouldn't have put him in it, but it's fine because he's in Saudi, but it's absolutely fine. And then I wouldn't have put Henderson. I would have put Wharton for Crystal Palace. But at the same time, we've got friendlies against Andorra and Senegal. So it doesn't really, who gives a shit. But I just wanted to get your reaction from that, Bobby. No Manchester United player in England, and also the England team going to be playing Andorra and Senegal.
At the same time, I ask who on Manchester United would have deserved a call-up.
I would say Maguire.
Maybe
I would say Maguire.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think Maguire, and I don't think anyone else. Shaw hasn't played enough. Mount.
Nope.
I think Maguire has got a shout, but
Mount's only just come back, and I mean, he had a couple of decent little games, but then he didn't touch the damn ball in the Europa League final. So I mean, you can't really, you can't blame the manager for not calling up any of the Manchester United players. It's like, like his back choices, like Maguire, sure, but he's got some great choices for the back of defense right now. Maguire, probably not necessary. I know what you're saying. If anyone on that team deserved it, probably Maguire. But I'd like to say Manu, but they haven't used him enough lately. That's the thing. Kobe Manu is great when he gets to play. But if there's anybody who should have a fucking argument about the team selection in the Europa League final, it's Manu coming on for 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think
he's a professional. He's younger than Garnacho, and he's way more professional than Garnacho. Because that's what I get tired of. I was pissed off when Ronaldo did it. I'm pissed off when Garnacho does it. I'm pissed off when Rashford does it. When they go on the public, and Rashford does it a little bit less, I guess. But when they go out there whining and crying about the manager's selection and stuff like that, prove that you are the one that needs to be selected every single time. Bruno did this season. And look, we spent money on Ugarte. And a lot of the times Bruno was put in Ugate's position over Ugarte because of the maturity and things that he was showing. Maguire, maybe due to some injury situations and stuff like that, but Maguire was picked due to showing maturity and dedication to the club. There's a guy who every Man United fan at one time was singing to get his ass out of the club so that we could make some money. And after this entire season, there's not one Man United fan who would say that, oh yeah, I definitely want to see Maguire out of here. He's one of the few that they would hang on to at this point. So also,
I'm gonna make Manchester United.
Quick good morning to Bobby Stats here. Can't leave him out. Join in the chat.
So, should we make things worse for Manchester United fans? I think
fuck me. So let's make it worse. I'm going to take
it. Make it worse.
It was the final. So we're now going to go and travel all the way over to Italy. It was the Italian last day of their Serie A season, which is their Premier League. And the Scudetto is the cup that they're going to win. Manchester United's Scott McTominay has been the stablemate for Napoli, who is under the management of Antonio Conte, former Tottenham and Chelsea manager. Now, going into the final day, Napoli were 1 point clear of the top, and this is how the final day.
Now, so not to take anything away from that performance, but I just want to mention to people, as phenomenal as that is, the Serie A is a different ball game to the Premier League, because even Lukaku is looking phenomenal in Serie A.
So if you don't know anything the history about Serie A and you don't know anything about the past few seasons, Napoli won this championship 2 seasons ago. They then had the worst defense. So 3 seasons ago, they then had the worst defense of a championship winning league by finishing the bottom half of the league. They then absolutely couldn't do it. Victor Osimhen, who was their star striker, was got rid of. He went to Turkey and won the league over there. Antonio Conte has won the league twice before in Serie A. And he come back and he's won it for the 3rd time, which means he's the first ever manager in Serie A history to win the Scudetto, the Serie A, 3 times with 3 different clubs. Also, as well, I always say Europeans celebrate better than Americans when they win championships. Now, this is what happened in Naples when they won the championship. Yeah,
that would have been
welcome
one
to Italy,
expensive
folks.
fireworks show for a team that didn't win the championship otherwise, eh?
Jesus Christ. I love Italy. The Italians go so over the top with football. It is amazing. But yes, Scott McTominay, who got sold to Napoli for £30 million, has become the MVP of the Serie A season in his first season over there. Lukaku as well, who used to play for Manchester United, scored loads of goals, was sold from Inter Milan to Chelsea for £100 million. And then never has really got on the pitch for Chelsea. Was loaned, I think, to a permanent buy for around about £40 million, million euros it is now into Naples. But yeah, it's astonishing. Naples under Antonio Conte in the Diego Maradona Stadium, who, as you know, if you don't know who Diego Maradona is, my arch nemesis, but Diego Maradona, one of the greatest Argentinians that ever lived, made his name in Naples with that. But yeah, I just wanted, it was Andre's face with the fireworks when he first saw it, and I was like, yeah, welcome to Italy, folks.
That would be,
but yeah, I just want to get your reaction to it.
There's somebody in Naples, whatever the fuck it's called, just under their bed, just going like this, just like having like just PTSD flashbacks or something from all the explosions. I guarantee it. At least one person in that entire place.
And so over here in the UK, we have a Facebook groups, right? That is like for your local area. We have like community, and they always moan about when we have firework nights, because of the animals and the dogs. If you had a dog and it was in Naples at that time, that thing's going batshit crazy at this point. I'm telling you. But we got one more football. But I just wanted to get both of your opinions on that. Really, yeah,
I think the celebrations are great, and I mean, I'm not taking anything away from McTominay. I always thought he was a good player, and when they sold him, I thought, he's going to shine there. He really is going to shine there because it's a different ball game, and that's the one thing people don't realize is that they're quick to judge when we sell a player to a club outside of the English Premier League and go, oh, I bet you wish you would have kept him. I'm like, yeah, McTominay was good for us. I'm not doubting that for a second. But McTominay is excellent for Napoli. That's the difference between Premier League and Serie A. You can be really good in the Premier League, but you could be a superstar over there. And it's just a matter of the different playing style that's more comfortable to the kind of position you trained in, you grew up in, the system that the manager puts out. Conte is excellent at spotting these things and putting these things forward. So it's all those things that add up. That's the thing. It's no different from, okay, people, we're backing Amorim, but his system hasn't really fit the English style yet. And until he gets the right players in order to make it fit the English style, that's where our challenges lie. There's a big difference in every single country and the way they present their football, that no matter what, there's going to be players that are going to excel elsewhere, which we've seen with the loans of Man United players as well too. They can excel elsewhere, but then just really not do it when they get on the pitch for us. But congratulations, Lukaku. Congratulations, McTominay, and all of Napoli. You guys did it. You fought hard. You played hard.
Very much so. They very much deserve that, to come back to that, losing their star man in Victor Osimhen and doing it. But we also had the Championship playoff final, which was yesterday, which was Sheffield United, and it was between Sunderland. Sunderland, who are, if you don't know where Sunderland are about 20 minutes away from Newcastle. And they have the Tyne-Wear derby, and they hate each other. I mean, despise each other. The Alan Shearer, who is a living Premier League legend, Newcastle fan, has always been told that Sunderland fans have told him that they want him to die to his face. So welcome to Sunderland. But this was the Championship playoff final, and I've done the timings on the top left-hand corner so you can tell by the fucking drama.
Harmer showing great determination to get there first. Outnumbered, but not outthought. Beautiful for Tyrese Gamble! The classic counterpunch floors Sunderland. This is a massive moment in the game. I
do feel the goalkeeper's ability to play the ball is impacted by the position of Vinny Souza there. This could be huge for Sunderland. It could keep them in the game.
So Vinny Souza's position, the key, and the impact on Anthony Patterson.
After review, Sheffield United 21 is in the line of vision of the goalkeeper and clearly impacts. Final decision, no goal, offside.
Lefay finding Roberts, by far Sunderland's best move! Well, finally they put it together, and that is the result! Luke O'Nien joining in the celebrations by Moore, and it falls the way of Watson. Oh! And what a parting gift that is! Tom Watson, Brighton bound, off the bench, has surely put Sunderland's place in the Premier League. They don't get out to him, they don't close him down, and they pay the price.
What a turn! They didn't score until the 76th minute, Sunderland. Now seemingly the game and promotion is theirs.
And Neil, Sunderland to the core, lifts the trophy that proclaims to the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The game was one of the most boring finals I've watched until the 75th minute. I was absolutely Sunderland, Sheffield United scored in the first half and they dominated. That
was a great first goal too.
Dominated over that. And then second half, Sunderland changed the way that they've been playing. They're now the youngest squad, average age throughout the whole squad that has been promoted outside of in the playoffs, outside of it to the Premier League. And we've got the time weird derby next season between Newcastle and Sunderland. We also had the League One playoff final between Charlton and Leyton Orient for the team to be promoted to the Championship. And Charlton come out on top of that, winning 1-0 with a free kick in the first half. That was also a very boring game. But we've also got Wimbledon versus Walsall, which will be happening tomorrow. League Two playoff final, which will be happening tomorrow as well. But that is all the videos that I've got for. If you want other sport videos, I'm happily do it. Just let me know what other videos you want to see and roundup of other games and stuff.
Hockey.
I can do that. I'm fine with doing that. The hockey roundups as well. But yeah.
Well, we've let Andre be silent enough. I think we should move to a sport that Andre can get some opinions in on here.
I'm okay.
How about
I really enjoy listening to you talk about footy because I'm slowly starting to watch games here and there. I think I'm gonna try to follow Reading just to appease Mark. I'm gonna get the jersey. I've been delayed on ordering it. Sorry, Mark, but I will have one in the next little. No, you can't beat that price. £80, I think it was, plus shipping. I was like,
yeah.
For a kid.
I'm so sorry for interrupting. There is one last thing. I've just seen the photo here. It was about the women's game. Arsenal women winning the Champions League final for the first time in 17 years. They have made history twice in them before the match and in the match. They are the first team ever to qualify through the qualifications to get to the Champions League final. And not only that, they're the first team ever that's had to go through the qualifying to win the Champions League by beating Barcelona, who were the odds-on favourites to win this match, going for their third Champions League in a row. But the first time in 17 years, Arsenal women have won the Champions League. Just wanted to give a shout out to the women because we've also got the women's European Championship. The England Lionesses will be going off to go and try and win that. So I will be keeping updated during all of that. So yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to the women in that. Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. How about want to talk about some NHL, guys?
Yeah. Mark, do you have the graphic?
Do you want? I can get the graphic up if you want me to.
Please, because I was right. I picked all 4 teams to go through. I had all 3 picks last week's show, and I picked Florida to win. So I'm 4 for 4 in the round 2. So I'm so happy.
Well, come on. You
And right
don't
now-
believe
It's
for a
not like
second that Carolina's going to come back with 4 in a row to take this series?
Are you high? Florida has
Yes, I am.
Florida
That's a stupid
has
question.
trounced. Florida has
When is he not, you fucking
Carolina.
idiot?
Yes, they have trounced Carolina in every game. They have absolutely demolished them so far on all 3 games. Like I think
know.
they've scored.
I know.
It's just insanity, man.
Are you
know-
high?
You
Yes.
know I'm just
When
being a
is
prick,
Bobby
right?
not?
Like, come on.
Also,
Game
your
one.
dumbass.
Oh, go ahead,
The funniest thing about that was when as soon as he says, "Are you high?" Bobby went, "Yeah," and in my brain I went, "When is he not?" That was literally the emotions of that conversation. That just like,
When am
so,
I?
if
When
we're
am
gonna
I
go through
not?
it-
What? Here. I'm not during work hours, and I'm not when I'm around children, my nieces, my nephews, or when I'm volunteering.
That's fair. That's
There you
fair.
go.
Okay, yeah, that's still bullshit. So let's go with Florida and Carolina. Let's talk about it. Let's go with it. So they're currently 3-0 up. They won the first game 5-2, won the second game 5-0, and then they won game 3 6-2. I presume because it's a 7.
Mark, it's 5-0 in hockey, not nil.
No,
is
it's
a
5-0.
football. Nil is
No,
a
no,
footy
it's
thing.
5-0. No, it's 5-0.
Nothing. 5-0.
No, it's fucking nil. And then it's 6-2. That it was in the game 3. I presume that if Florida win the next game, which is Tuesday, that they're going to be No, it's Monday for you. It's Tuesday for me. So I've just looked at the timing for it. For that, I'm going to say if Florida win, if Florida win, they've won it. They're through to the Stanley Cup final. I presume Andre and Bobby, you might have seen clips or you've watched it. Are Florida now the favourites going into this after demolishing 6-2, 5-0, and 5-2? Are Florida now the favourites?
Yeah,
compared to the
5-2,
other one?
6-0, and 6-2. Yeah, dude, like you can't. It's Mark though. Come on.
It's still 5-0. So it's
5-0. But yeah, like you can't. And again, these are the defending Stanley Cup champions. So you also got to remember they won the cup last year. This is a hell of a team who have added in very strong pieces this year. So like it's kind of hard not to think. It's like look at Carolina. Look at their series so far. 4-1 in the first round, 4-1 in the second round, and are getting just their shit handed to them, down 3-0 now in this series. I can see Carolina winning a game, but I don't see them winning the series. Not even close. Florida ended. I can see Florida ending on Monday, but I could see Carolina pulling out on game 4 and then it ending in game 5. But man, this has been just an insane series. But then you look at the other side of the table. Like if Florida, I think goes through, but they're strong going into the Stanley Cup final, no matter who they play. Like whether it's Dallas, whether it's Edmonton, they have a strong shot at this cup. But again, my prediction is still Edmonton to win the Stanley Cup final against Florida.
I guess the argument could be made too that if they win in 4, they've got that break they're going to create for themselves, a rest period
It's good. It's good and bad though.
It could be a curse. Yeah.
You've seen it in past years where teams have gone on 4 and the other game series goes to 7. And that other team gets a day or 2 off, and are still so rolling into that final that the team that's been on break is just has. You can practice as much as you want. Nothing compares to playing a game every second night. It really doesn't.
It's interesting because if you look at the other series as well, let's go to the other one, the Western Conference Final. Let's go with Edmonton versus Dallas. Edmonton losing the first game 6-3 and then winning the second game 3-0 in that. I view the right way round where your home team's on the left and the away team's on the right. Is that the right way you guys do it? You do it the wrong way like the Americans where they're backwards?
Edmonton's listed on the right today and they're in Edmonton.
They are in Edmonton for game 3.
Yeah.
Dallas.
They were in Dallas.
Game 1 in Dallas.
They were in
You do it
Dallas
the
for the
wrong way
last
around.
2 games. Were they not?
No, they're in Edmonton. Oh, fuck.
Because we do it like this: home team on the bottom, away team on the top. Mark, look at the screen.
No, that's wrong on every sense of the word.
Okay.
The home team has to be on the top, and the away team's at the bottom. If you're doing it that way,
This is how it's right.
It's wrong. It's so wrong on every. It's really pissing me off now. Why do North Americans do it all so fucking wrong? Also, question before we go on any more hockey talk: do you do day, month, year, or do you do month, day, year?
Month, day. I personally do month, day, year.
Bobby,
personal.
Usually month, day, year.
You do fucking world.
That's
because
it's what most people do here.
It's going to shit. Why is everyone copying those?
Thank you.
Thank
she's
you.
just saying that to appease your ass.
Thank you. Thank you. That's the right way of having an intelligence to do it. Okay, let's go to Dallas versus the Oilers. What are you making up? They've got a game that will kick off in 3 hours' time.
1 hour and
kicking up.
3 hours 15 minutes, baby. You're both Mark and Peggy are wrong, but
no, we are so right. It's unreal, Peggy. They are so utterly
day, year, month.
No, day, month.
Year.
Why are you doing month first?
Day.
Why are you doing the fucking month first? You do the
say
day.
August the 1st, 2025. Month, day, year.
1st of August, 2024. Or 25.
No,
1st of August. You said
right.
you go small and then you go larger, you pillock.
Doesn't sound
it's
right.
the day you're on versus the month you're on versus the year you're on. How can you guys be so wrong?
2025. It is May 25th, 2025.
It's the 25th of May, 2025, you idiot.
It's May 25th, 2025.
It's the 25th of May. It's so wrong. Oh,
so much
God.
fun.
Why are North Americans so dumb? It's so annoying. Oh, because Bobby, I love you, and you have some redeeming factors, but this is taking it down a peg or two here. This is
exactly. You can argue it all you want, but this is exactly how they make you fill it out in forms that you sign here in Canada. So it's
a Canadian thing.
It's the way it is in Canada. I can't speak on behalf of the Americans, but
Americans do month, day, year. Month, day, year. I know Americans do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go. Fucking Jesus Christ. Let's get back to the hockey before I lose my shit anymore. Oilers versus Dallas. Who's really the favourites for this, and who do you think's going to come through?
I still say Edmonton.
Yeah, I say Edmonton. Like that.
It's for me. It's not even a bias. For me, it's not even a bias. I would say it's just. I think they've got what it takes to get through this again. They're just going to repeat. This is going to be a pure repeat of last season. We've said it before here, last Stanley Cup playoffs. Every team Edmonton had to get through to make it to the final, then meet in Florida in the final, then going 7 games and losing it in the final. I mean, it's all a repeat of last year.
Yep. Like, again, and Edmonton is the deeper team, in my opinion, versus Dallas. They have better team. They have better scoring ability. I would say Dallas has a better defense, and they're kind of about even in goaltending. So I'll give the edge to being the better team to Edmonton, even though Dallas did have a higher ranking. It's just, that's how points run out. But yeah, Edmonton just I feel like they're on its run. Now back home, Edmonton does really seem to get really risen up when they're playing at home. So I really see this being I feel like by Tuesday, at the end of Tuesday, we're going to be having Edmonton up 3-1 in the series. Personal.
Okay.
Opinion.
Also, you say that Dallas or Edmonton were the better side. In the conference, Edmonton finished 6th, while Dallas finished 3rd. Edmonton finished 101 points, while Dallas finished 106. So there's a 5-point difference, but Dallas overall throughout the season, surely they would be the favourites because they were the better side. And if you look by their route of what they've done, they've made things, I would say Edmonton have probably done it a little bit easier just by a goal or by a leg or that. But
But if you want to play the
Surely.
favorites game, we should have been seeing a Winnipeg versus Toronto final for the Cup.
Should be it should if we're doing that, it should have been Florida versus Toronto. It was Washington
It was
as well.
Florida versus Toronto.
No, I mean Washington versus Toronto. They were the first. They were the top two teams in the Eastern Conference compared to the West. So
I mean right to the Cup final. If you want to go based on favorites, it should have been Winnipeg and Toronto in the Stanley Cup final based on the season favorites.
No, it would have been Winnipeg, Washington, as Washington did play higher.
Washington were the top side. Yeah,
fair enough.
But again, it's playoff. Like again, same thing in the promotion qualifiers. In footy, dude, anybody can win it, right? Like the team that has the better placement could be knocked out. So again, it's how about you? The seasons make a lot of sense, but really it comes down to the playoffs. Some teams are playoff contenders. Some people squeak in like the Habs and get knocked out in the first round. Jersey Devils, exactly the same thing. Tampa Bay Lightning, who in the past have been a very strong playoff team. Look at this year; got knocked out 5 games by Florida. Again, like I'll say, the Western Conference has been far more competitive than the Eastern Conference. Because if you look, because other than the Toronto series, which shouldn't have gone to 7 because Florida just kind of collapsed in a couple games, it's been a far more dominant run in those series. Where if you look at the West, almost every series outside of one of them have gone at least 6 games. So,
okay, let's go back to that. What you just said, that the Western Conference.
Can I cut in with something unrelated for one quick second? Is just a quick update.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, Amorim is going to apologize to the Man United fans after the game, but he might do it with something interesting to say as well too, because Aston Villa's goalkeeper has just been red carded and taken out of the matchup. It's 0-0. Going into the last minute of stoppage time in the first half, and the keeper has been escorted out of the game. So interesting. Anyway, continue on, guys. Sorry to cut away from
Martinez's final ever game for Aston Villa was so. No.
But yeah, like
so I'm going to cut this out because my internet's laggy when we do that.
Yeah, but I look at the Western Conference. It's the tougher conference to play in. It really is.
Okay, so let's go back to that. Let's go back to the Western Conference. 8th place finished on, and I don't know who the STL had. I think that's St. Louis. They finished on 96 points. On the Eastern Conference, the team that finished 8th was the Canadians, the Habs, who finished on 91. But if you go down from Winnipeg, who finished 116, with Washington finishing on 111, you had Vegas Knights that finished on 110 points, while Toronto finished on 108, and then you had Dallas on 106 with the Lightning people on 102. If you're looking at more that, the more points were made and harder to get into things in the Western Conference compared to the Eastern. But if you look at, funny enough, if I'm looking at this from an outsider and looking in, and I'm looking at the graphic I've got here, and you're looking at all the teams that are winning, it seems to be whoever can dominate is going to win in the Eastern Conference. But it also seems that in the Western Conference, it's whoever's got the biggest balls. Like, you've got to have balls of steel, because you've got to find a way of coming through a tough tie. So for me, as an outsider, not really knowing who's who and who's what and where's what, I would bet that the Western Conference would have beat the Eastern Conference quite easily, right? That's looking from statistic-wise, looking from the outside looking in. But I probably completely and utterly wrong, knowing that if Florida are in the final, they're going to be favourites to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, because again, you look at a domination factor, because if you look at outside of the Toronto series, every series in there has gone very, very early. Hello. But
what an Amber.
You have to look at it as the Eastern Conference just seems to have more dominant teams, or have more dominant series, right? Where the Western Conference has been far more competitive. Where yes, I feel like Edmonton if they go through, they're going to make a series out of it for Florida or Carolina if they for some reason went 4 straight, which happened. But yeah, you could technically favor the Western over the Eastern just by point totals and things like that. But again, it all comes down to just who grits their teeth down in the playoffs. It's running those gauntlets. Really, the regular season stats kind of go out the window in the playoffs.
Okay, so the final topic. We've got Formula One. We'll discuss that in a second because I don't know whether this was your first experience or first half experience of the Monaco Grand Prix. Edmonton have revenge energy, hopefully, yeah. But before I get into my thoughts on it, I want it because Andre had some interesting takes, shall we say, during the Monaco Grand Prix, which made me question my friendship with him. So I want to get your thoughts, one on the Monaco Grand Prix, and two of your very, very questionable take on a certain driver.
Number one, this is a duller race because again, does not love overtaking. Alex Albon, I know we're not. It wasn't a great race. It just when you got you have a driver intentionally slowing down, staying all over the track to make sure to slow down everybody else to keep people at bay for his teammate. It made for just the most infuriating part. George Russell did just overtook off the track at a 20-second drive-through penalty where you're just going to drive through the pit where you're not allowed to pit, and still came out ahead of the dude that he passed because that's how how much he was fucking up this race. It was just it was so infuriating. Like by the end of the race, I'm pretty sure like the back half was 2 laps down on the leader.
From 9th.
Yeah, 9th down. Everybody was 2 laps behind. They've been lapped twice because of how people were driving in this race. And I'm just so infuriated by this. But he wants me to talk about Lance Stroll. Right?
Yeah, your very questionable take. Your very questionable take.
I'm a Canadian. He's a Canadian. I'm gonna support him. He's the only Canadian in F1. I have to give him my support.
Right.
Sorry.
I support Jadon Sancho when he was in Germany, but he was still shit. And I said he was shit. I supported Jude Bellingham when he played for Real Madrid. He was shit, and I said he was shit. And but there were times when what's his name? Michael Owen, Jonathan Woodgate went to Real Madrid in the weirdest transfer that's ever existed in human mankind. But when Jonathan Woodgate went to Real Madrid, got sent off in 8 seconds of the debut he had for Real Madrid, hardly ever played again. He was shit. And I said that. He should never play for him. Doesn't mean you need to root for your countryman.
I do. Because he's the only Canadian. Yeah.
Oh, for the
you have like 6 Brits to cheer for. I have one Canadian. We're great. I have one, and it's not even my favorite. He's not even on my favorite team. My favorite team is McLaren, but this number 2 being Williams, who I'm very mad at that team today. I'm very pissed at that team today.
I mean, I do want to intervene for 1 second and say I got to give Andre credit because despite the fact that the guy's shit, if he is the only Canadian and he's supporting his fellow countrymen, I can't take that away from him. I mean, that's a dedicated support right there, right? Like, come on.
Since he debuted, I have been behind
you do realize
since he debuted.
Right, Bobby, I'm going to give you a stat here, and I want you to tell me if you will still stand by what you said, okay? He is the only driver in the history of the words are so hard to come at me because this stat really hurts me. He is the only driver in history to have these many. He's had over 70 something races, and he's never finished in the top 3. He also had a car where his teammate finished second 6 times in 1 season. Now he still didn't finish in the podium. Bobby, do you stand by what you just said?
I still stand by what I said.
Oh, for the love of God.
I gotta give Andre. He's the only Canadian. It's like,
Canada.
here's the thing. It's like I come from a fucking province, and Mark, you won't know this. When it comes to CFL football, we have the Saskatchewan Roughriders here. Maybe one of the shittiest teams in the history of football, period, by far. And yet every person in this province will go to every game, and they are the loudest, most obnoxious, obscene fans of any sport in Canada, because that's how much they will go support them. They could lose every goddamn game, and that stadium will still be full of drunk people wearing watermelons on their fucking heads and cheering for their shitty team.
Right. Okay. As you put it like that, I respect it. As you put it like that, I respect it. All right. I get it that way now. Okay. But also, Lance Stroll is fucking useless.
It's
he
blind
does not
dedication,
deserve
man. It's blind
again,
dedication.
I never. If you go through, if we were to release this chat to Bobby, I never once said Lance Stroll was good. I said he's doing better.
You said he was better. He was better than his teammate, who's a former world champion, has been DNF 3 times this season.
Hold on. I said
because his car's
Stroll has performed
not good enough. Of overtaking.
He's got the receipts.
Stroll has performed better than Alonso all
it.
year. Performed better. I'm not saying he's.
Yeah.
You
said Alonso
better.
needs to retire. You said Alonso needs to retire. No. How can you get a guy retire when his car blew up? How is that his fault?
Needs to retire.
You did put that, and look what I put underneath. No, Stroll does.
No, Stroll does not. He's
literally my comment back to you was no.
He has a 6th and a 9th place this year in the first 2 races. Alonso has yet in every
Hold
race
on. If we're going to go with that,
11th or worse. Alonso hasn't pointed yet this year.
Right, here we go then. Oliver Bierman has got more points than Alonso, but has retired a numerous amount of times. Alonso, as well this season, has retired 3 times out of the 7 races he's been in. He also has the worst car in the grid. He was 7th when he would have finished 6th because of the car in front had to do the pit stop. He would have finished 6th if his car didn't blow up. Where is Stroll? 16th, you dumbass. This is why your takes, stop. Think. Get some help.
By standings this year, Stroll is the better driver than Alonso. Right now, Lance Stroll is overall in the driver.
No.
Fernando Alonso is in 18th. You can't deny the numbers. Look at the numbers. Lance Stroll in 11th. Fernando Alonso in 18th.
Also, what's on Wikipedia? Just get the F1 app. It's easier to read on the F1 app. Get the F1 app, you plonker.
I've got this brilliant idea for next week's show.
It's free.
Brilliant idea for next week's show. The great F1 debate. The great F1 debate. We're going to give you each an opportunity to argue your points, and then we're going to turn it back to the chat live next week to decide whose debate was better.
Oh, well, I'm fucked.
At most, I get STG on my side. Ophelia, Peggy's going to go with Mark because she hates. She loves me, but she hates me.
I think Peggy will be a very impartial judge. I have the utmost faith. Peggy's impartial judgment.
I don't trust Peggy's judgment at all. First thing, one of the first things.
Let's be fair. Anytime
here was I threatened her, and I did not.
Right. Anytime I've done a poll with my name on it, I've come last. Every single time. True. And we did a poll,
I'm involved.
Right? Do you know what the anger, right? I'm going to vent now about these fucking polls and the people voting in the polls that I put out, right? I put who was the GM manager. Thank you. Thank you for that, and I love you. But I put a poll out, right? I don't mind losing to Bobby, right? Don't mind it. Bobby puts in a lot of work backstage and does a lot of things that I can understand why people vote for him. But when I lose to Lauren fucking Goodnight, I have a problem. I have a massive fucking problem.
when you lost to Lauren, you lost to me because I made sure the people voted for Lauren because I thought it would be hilarious.
It was the
and this
worst.
many months later, it still is.
It's the worst decision that has ever happened for Lauren Goodnight to win that vote.
Mark, this year you're going to lose to both me and Lauren together.
No, I refuse to put Lauren in it. I refuse because it's a dumbass. I'll put you in it. I refuse to put her name in it. It's dumbass.
If I win, it's also a win for Lauren because I am her special assistant.
Then I refuse to put NXT in it because if you guys don't know already, there's backstage. We have a group. Right? We have DMs. We have one for everyone all together where we openly discuss about if there's a DLC coming out, who wants what. We have a bit of a laugh and a joke. Then we have NXT War Room, which is basically I'm there. And I'm there with Andre and Lauren, right? The conversations start with, I throw out a suggestion. Lauren goes, yeah, it's okay. What do you think, Andre? We then have to wait a fortnight for Andre to reply, right? Because it takes him so long to reply to anything. So it's about a fortnight before we hear back from him.
I'm sorry,
I've gone to sleep, woken up, and then as I've... Well... No, you're not allowed to have a job when it comes to this show. It's as simple as that. But when I wake up, I then go into the NXT expecting them, right, both of them, to book it. All right, come up with ideas, think of ways to push forward, how to make creative things doing it. Andre, hold on, hold your horses before you pipe up there, Baldy. Right. Calm down. I was about to say something. Andre will come out with about 3 or 4 lines of how he wants it done. All right. I then have to go in and book the rest of NXT. I've had to create the Fiend.
I'll book it.
And the storyline going in for the Fiend.
Yeah,
all right.
Okay.
I've had to come up with this new group.
I will give you the Fiend because you had that booking already going, but when I joined in for one.
Yeah, but to be fair, and I will say this, and I will put this in defense of Andre, that when it comes to the Fiend or doing that voodoo shit, I don't trust anyone doing it. So then I take over and I make it batshit crazy. So that's why I don't trust people booking the Fiend. But yeah,
I'm booking the women. I think I've done a good job so far booking women's. Putting out who needs to go where so far.
Yeah.
STG Backlash already happened. Double or Nothing. I don't think we have a post show, but Battleground, on the other hand, you can join Ed and Astrid later tonight, along with the Monday Night Besties from bodyslam.net. They're going to be live tonight after Battleground. So check that out.
Just be aware they thumbs down for Ed.
That better be for Ed and not the Besties, man. The Astrid and the Besties don't deserve that kind of
Astrid and the Besties, this.
No.
Ed, I'll thumbs down Ed.
Yeah, it's fine. That's fair. That's fair comment.
He doesn't show up here anymore. He decided
he's taking a break. He's taking a little break.
I need a break. I need to go and have some rest. Fuck off. We all have jobs and do things throughout the week, you pansy. You just can't handle the fact that you got demolished last year in the NFL fantasy ratings. That's what's happened. You're crying in your little corner. Oh, I'm going to play. I bet you, do you know what he's doing on a Sunday? I know exactly what he's doing. He's got on his computer every Sunday. He's going, I need to find the best fantasy players that will make me work really well next season. And he's got like a little spreadsheet.
97
days, work
97 days, boys. 97 days till we draft.
Shit.
All right. With that said, Mark, where can the people find you and what you got going on until next Sunday?
I haven't got a fucking clue. I've got a Football Manager. We are doing around the world. Me and Bobby have got a save that we're doing, and we are in Indonesia doing Indonesian football, Indonesian shit. If you've seen the first episode, you will know that me and Bobby are sharing a house in Indonesia where we're paying £15 a week. Yes, that cheap. For a house. So we're doing that. We've also as well coming up this week. Coming to promotion, the whole aim is to get promoted out of the Indonesian second division, and also on WWE 2K25 we are building to No Mercy. The final week to build to No Mercy will be coming out. We've got GCW tonight where it will be The Rock and Nia Jax versus I don't even know the team who I put them against. But they got a team who they're going up against for a number 1 contendership for the GCW Mixed Tag Team Championships. And also in the main event, you got
that comment.
Yeah, you can guess who's won that one. And in the main event, you've got Joe Gacy versus John Cena for the GCW World Championship in Underground Rules. Now, what I will say is please watch, because I had a dumbassery in the second match, and you'll understand why. And then the build for it will be happening next week. Also, we'll give a little bit of a hint as well. Dominic Mysterio has lost his shit, and there is someone backstage that's helping him, and I would be worried for NXT. So yes, Andre, I'm going to pass it over to Andre now, like Bobby does. Andre, where can we find you, and what you got coming up this week?
You can find me over on Mark Talks Wrestling, as I'm the special assistant to the NXT general manager. You can check me out over there as we talk about NXT. You can find me this Wednesday as Marvel Talks MCU Rebound returns with Spider-Man Homecoming, which we have told Peggy in advance. She knew of this 2 weeks ago. If she has not watched the movie, that is on her. So
we are going Homecoming yet. Anyway,
rewatch.
Like we try to rewatch it, but we all try to when we do these rebounds, we rewatch it before we go in. But yeah, we rewatch. We're doing the rewatch of that and talk about Spider-Man Homecoming movies. That just took Spider-Man into an amazing point. I will be watching Double or Nothing tonight, and I cannot wait. I'm going to hang out with Peggy, watch Double or Nothing. It's going to be a good day. And you can find me back next Sunday as I'll be chit-chatting more F1. We got F1. One more week of F1 for the 3-week stand is next week, so looking forward to that. And yeah, lots of good stuff otherwise.
Perfect. As for myself, Bobby Munson, socials are down below on the X, Drill Bobby Munson, Instagram and Threads, Video Bros SK, Twitch Video Bro _ Bobby Munson, and on Blue Sky, just search Bobby Munson. You'll find me there. Where can you find me throughout the week? As the guys have been saying, over at Mark Talks Wrestling, we always got stuff coming at you daily, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Add that Build to No Mercy. I've got some stuff planned. It's some interesting stuff, and I guarantee you that the things I'm going to pull come No Mercy are going to change the game for the Raw roster completely. So stay tuned for that. As for what I got coming up here on this channel in particular, you can catch me just released on Friday doing the Final Destination Bloodlines review with both Astrid Pizarro and Jamie Apps over on the latest edition of Killer Cuts. You can also find me this coming Thursday. Yes, Bloodlines. You can catch me this coming Thursday with Papa Smokes on Ring Respect Radio. We're not sure what we're going to be covering this week. We're hoping and praying that SPW New Zealand maybe puts out their most recent release before this Thursday. So we're kind of waiting to see it out. But we will have something interesting for the world of independent wrestling coming at you this coming Thursday, and back with these two gentlemen here for Point of View next Sunday as well. And also over at Prairie Pro Wrestling every Saturday afternoon, you can catch me at Papa Smoke calling the action on a new match that's just released yesterday. We had the release of Marvelous Morris Waltz taking on Riley Cruz. Next week, we've got the Man of the North, Rich King, taking on Bucky McGraw in another epic one-on-one encounter. So make sure that you subscribe to Prairie Pro Wrestling on YouTube. But as for the shows here on OLE Podcast, you can find us across all social media as well as YouTube and Twitch. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. As Bobby Stat said earlier, if you like this video, make sure to give this video a like. Leave us a comment if you're watching after the fact and let us know what your favorite sports are. Maybe we haven't covered them yet. Bring them up in the chat and we'll do some coverage of your favorite sports on a future edition of Point of View. But that's going to be it for us this week. It's going to be it for us this week on Point of View. Thank you, everybody who tuned in. We appreciate the love and support. And until next Sunday, take care and have a wonderful, beautiful day.